Hey everybody, it's Justin here again, coming back at you with another bike video, as you can see. So I felt like doing a little bike packing trip, but didn't really want to do a whole lot. So there's a nice little trail here in Maryland called the Northern Central Rail Trail. It's also known as the NCR Trail. So this trail makes up a 42-ish mile stretch starting in Cockeysville, Maryland, and going all the way up to York, Pennsylvania. So this trail actually combines two separate rail trails. One is the Torrey C rail trail, which starts here in Maryland and makes a 20-mile stretch up to the Pennsylvania state line. Once you cross into Pennsylvania, you connect to the Heritage Rail Trail, which goes another 20-ish miles up to York, Pennsylvania. So the plan for today is to ride up to York, camp overnight at a nice little campground, and then ride back tomorrow morning. And one last thing I want to mention before I get going, I had to park about half a mile up the road. That seems to be the largest parking lot that's closest to the trailhead. So before I was able to get started today, I had to ride half a mile back down to the starting point here. But it's really no big deal. It's a nice, easy ride. And with that, I think I'm gonna get going. So let's get it. So one of the cool little quirks about this trail is this little gnome hill behind me. There are like dozens of gnomes all over this hill. And the family that lives here, they also keep this little stand here where you can purchase snacks and beverages along the way. So I think this is a pretty good trail if you're like just getting into bike packing, not really sure what to bring, and maybe forget to pack some snacks. Like, you've got a little stand right here, and you just leave the money inside the little drop box and take what you want. All right, so I'm 15 miles in at this point, or maybe a little more than 15 miles. Just took a quick stop to take a potty break. Let's get back to it. I really need to put something on my stomach right now, so I'm eating a protein cookie. It is so good. I swear I tell myself this all the time and I never listen, but I definitely need to get back into better habits if I'm going to be like doing a lot of active stuff like this and pushing for big miles. You know, simple stuff like stretching, hydrating, and eating a full meal before coming out would probably make a huge difference in how I feel while I'm out here doing this stuff. 'Cause, I mean, I'm barely at 20 miles and my legs are screaming. I'm starting to have flashbacks from my bikepacking trip a few months ago where I'm just like stiff and aching and just pushing to get to my campsite. And I know there are so many things that I should be doing that would probably make all of this a whole lot easier, and I'm just not doing them. I need to get better at it, and I'm gonna try to work on it. All right, in 1.3 miles, I'll hit Pennsylvania. And in nearly 3 miles, I will hit New Freedom, which is where I'll probably stop and take a pretty significant break because I haven't had one yet. Welcome to camp. All right, so I'm all checked into Indian Rock Campground for the night. I just reserved a little primitive tent site, so it was $30. Not too bad. I'm only here for one night, and then I'm out tomorrow morning. So this actually isn't the end of the trail. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my tent, then I'm gonna get back on the bike and ride up into York, Pennsylvania, just to complete the trail and to reach the northern terminus, and then I'll come back. I might grab some food while I'm up in York if I happen to swing by a restaurant. But if not, I packed some stuff just in case, so hey, this is where I'm at for the night. Okay, so I got camp all set up, and now I'm making my way north to the northern terminus of the NCR trail. Right now I'm riding past York College, and the sun is definitely going down, and it's definitely going to be getting dark pretty soon, so I will likely be riding back to camp in the dark, which is fine. I mean, I have a headlamp and I have this little headlight on my bike, so I should be good. And it's honestly not that far, so I'll see you all at the terminus. All right, so a little update. I made it to Heritage Rail Trail County Park. I'm just gonna call this the northern terminus for me because the trail continues on city streets and I don't do roads with cars, so I'm not going to continue on. It also feels a little sketchy around here. I see, well, not even gonna talk about what I see, but I'm gonna hightail it back to my campsite while it's still light out, and I'm just gonna chill. Thankfully, I brought some food of my own to eat tonight because I don't really feel like finding somewhere to stop to eat. So I'm gonna head back to camp, and I'll update you when I get there. Just taking a moment to get into that sky. Man, look at that. All those colors. All right, so I'm back in my tent for the night, and I have to say, this is more like it. So all in all, it was about a 43-ish mile day today. I'm pretty tired and I'm hungry, but thankfully I've got some tortilla wraps, some tuna, and the special stuff, this blue agave sriracha that I just started buying, and I put it on nearly everything. Like, I love this stuff, and you can get it from REI. I buy a bunch at a time and I just run through them because it tastes so good. And then I've got some Nutella, so I'll probably just eat a couple of wraps, a couple of spoonfuls of Nutella, and watch some YouTube videos and call it a night. So talk to you all tomorrow. Peace. All right, so done about 10 miles so far today. Another 30 to go. Just taking a little break to drink some water and to refuel. So I'll get back to it in a few. So in case anyone else is interested in doing this ride but maybe don't want to tent camp like I did, there are a few bed and breakfast spots along the trail where you can stop. Right behind me is a little B&B called Jackson House, which I'm not exactly sure what town this is, but it's a little more than 20 miles from the starting point in Cockeysville, Maryland, and it's also about 18 miles from York. So this makes a nice little halfway point to stop if you maybe wanted to make it into a weekend trip. And there's a general store right next door and also a seafood restaurant right behind me. So I mean, you could stop here one night and then find a B&B in York the next night, and then stop here on the way back and make it a nice little few days on the NCR trail. So just throwing out some other options. All right, so I'm back at the New Freedom Cafe, which is basically a haven for cyclists on this trail. I tried to stop here yesterday, but they were closed. Today they're open, so I'm probably going to grab some lunch. Yeah. Alright, so I'm back in Maryland. I had a nice hour-long break in New Freedom, a nice solid lunch, so I feel totally re-energized. And actually New Freedom is the highest point in elevation on this trail, so it's all downhill from here. And along with the second wind that I have, I'm feeling so good, and I'm honestly flying through these miles. I have about 12 miles left to go, and then we'll be done. So if there are any fans of river tubing watching, just up ahead is a little town called Moncton. They have a nice little cafe and also a bike shop where you can get repairs done, and you can also rent either bikes or inner tubes. And basically basically, you can walk either a half a mile up the trail, or you can walk a full mile up the trail to one of these trees with the blue paint on it, and that's where you would put in, and you can just float down the river back to Moncton. If you're starting in Cockeysville, Maryland, where I started and coming up, the town sits between the 7 and 8 mile markers. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stop there just for a few minutes to take a quick break, and I will show you. Okay, so this is Moncton. Sorry it's a little loud, but there are a lot of cars that come through here. So right across the street there is the bike shop where you can rent electric bicycles and also inner tubes. There's also the Moncton Hotel, which is a nice little boutique hotel. And there's a cafe connected to the hotel, which is cool. And then there's okay, so I'm not quite sure what happened after filming that bit about Moncton. My phone just started malfunctioning, and I thought I was recording video of like the last section of trail, but apparently I wasn't. I just got to my car, unpacked everything, and I reset my phone, and now all of a sudden I can like record video again. So I'm not sure what I was actually able to capture in those last 8-ish miles or not, but hey, I made it back to my car safe and sound. About 85 miles total over the 2 days. All my stuff is in the back, and my bike is on the back of the car. I'm going home. I hope you all enjoyed this. I definitely recommend the NCR trail as like a beginner bike tour trail. If this is something that you think you might be interested in diving into, I would absolutely start here. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. See y'all next time. One other thing that I almost forgot to mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in another video clip, but if you want to leave your car parked overnight, you have to call the ranger office at Gunpowder State Park. Basically, this trail runs all the way through Gunpowder up to Pennsylvania, and you should call the office and notify the ranger of the dates that you plan to ride and leave your car overnight. Otherwise, you may get ticketed or towed if you leave your car parked in one of the lots overnight. So it's probably best to give them at least like a week's notice that's what I did. I just got back to my car and everything's fine, no tickets, nothing like that. So I just wanted to make sure I remember to throw that in there. But